about 15 minutes, and so I want this to be educational. Hopefully you'll walk away with some insight as to who we are and what we do. But more than that, we'll be raffling off some speakers. These are wireless speakers, Bluetooth speakers. They come in handy. I understand there's a photograph of a speaker hooked onto a purse, so I guess you can walk around shopping and knock yourself out. But in any event, I want to start off by thanking Region 12 for the invitation to come out today to speak with you. I also want to thank Sachin. Sachin is a client of ours, and he wanted your group to hear what we have to say. And today, we're going to talk about workers' compensation insurance. It's not quite the most palatable subject to talk about right after lunch. It's a tough subject. But more than that, we're going to talk about workers' compensation insurance fraud. And I'm sure some of you in here know a little bit about that. Excelsior Insurance Services is a full-service commercial insurance firm that specializes in fighting workers' compensation insurance fraud. We've been doing this for many years. About 5 years ago, our clients came to us and said, listen, we've got this problem. How are we going to deal with this? This is serious. Workers' compensation insurance fraud has put many companies out of business. Right now, it's at epidemic levels. We here in Southern California are under siege by employees that feel they have the right to take advantage of your workers' compensation plans. Workers' compensation fraud comes in a variety of ways. An employee, an outstanding employee of yours, works for you for 2 years. They resign, they're moving on in life. 6 weeks later, a lawsuit lands in your lap. And you're saying to yourself, well, what is this all about? How did this take place? I never knew anything about this. Or how about the employee that has a minor industrial accident? You would think maybe a few days off. Who are gone for 6 months. Who are gone for a year. And you're saying to yourself, well, what is going on here? Now, the vast majority of your employees are awesome, hardworking. And I'm not talking about them today. I'm talking about the few bad apples that file these claims that drive your experience modification through the roof. And we know that pricing follows the experience modification. So therefore, as your mod goes up, so does your pricing. We know that you can't quote yourself out of trouble. That doesn't work in this environment. Every broker out there has access to the exact same quotes. The problem that we're faced with today is dealing with the experience mod. That is our target. Because when we drive that mod down, so goes the pricing. So over the next few minutes, I'm going to talk about what we do to drive that mod down. Why did Sachin hire our firm? I'm going to share a little bit with you right now, because this is a very serious subject. I can't tell you how many restaurants, stores, hotels, manufacturers, you name it, There is no industry that is escaping this fraudulent activity. Those of you who don't draw a line in the sand and decide that you want to fight this fraud, you're going to have a rude awakening. This is what we do for our clients at no cost to them. We don't charge a dime for what we do. But boy, our services really pack a punch. It makes a difference. We get paid exactly the way all of the brokers get paid. But to keep our clients in business, to allow our clients to be successful, to compete. You guys heard earlier today about a great idea to enhance your revenues. Well, how about the other side of the ledger? How about reducing your expenses, like your workers' compensation insurance expenses? A lot of those expenses are driven up as a result of fraud. So, what do we do? For each and every one of our clients, we want to assist them with our own type of background check. For each prospective employee that you're considering working for your hotel. We want to know, and I would think that you would want to know, has that prospective employee ever sued a previous employer for workers' compensation insurance? We've done background checks on people who have sued their past 3, 5, as many as 7 employers. Well, who do you think is going to be number 8? You want to be number 8? Does anybody here want to be number 8? I don't think so. Workers' compensation insurance is far too expensive. This background check is state of the art. Goes back 50 years. It takes us 5 minutes to run this check at no cost to you. Do you honestly think you're going to figure out your fraud problem? Do you think you're going to solve it by hiring a bunch of people who have absolute no intention of working for you? None. They come to work for you for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and all of a sudden they have this injury. This injury that just came out of nowhere. No witnesses. This silent injury. And off they go and gone for months and maybe never see them again. I'm sure all of you are very honest, hard-working business owners and managers. You try to do the right thing for your employees. Just like Richard Branson put up, that screen we saw, before you can take care of your guests, you might want to best take care of your employees. Because what do unhappy employees do? Treat your guests poorly, retaliate against the employer. So, in taking care of your employees, which is the right thing to do, because we already know that the vast majority of our employees are really good people, we have a duty to take care of them. Legally, we have the responsibility to take care of any injured employee that happens to get hurt on the job. And so what most employers do is they send their employee down the street to an urgent care, right? And what does that doctor see when that employee walks through the doors? That doctor sees a blank check. That doctor knows that he or she can run any test humanly imaginable, anything reasonable, which drives the expenses to the roof. They want to see your employee 14 times over the next 2 days. Your employee goes in for a stubbed toe and what? Gets an MRI of the brain. It's ridiculous. But that's what happens. Then, that doctor reports the incident to the WCIRB, the Workers' Compensation Insurance Rating Bureau, who calculates your XMI and reports to the carrier. You realize that 90% of industrial accidents here in California are just first aid injuries. That's it. 90%. These are $500, $700, $800 claims. And you're paying an extra $100, $200, $300 grand a year more on your premium because of these claims? Well, that's not what we advise our clients. See, what we advise our clients is to use a company who we refer them to, a mobile medical company. This mobile medical company will come out to your hotel 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. They charge a fee of $295 to render service to your employee. These are all licensed EMTs, LVNs, and sometimes RNs, depending on the injury. Should you have a drug test policy in place, they'll render a drug test right there on the spot for a nominal fee. What does that do for you? Number one, your employee's not going to a doctor who's charging humongous fees for their service. One. Two, nothing's getting reported to the WCIRB. But three, which is a big deal right now, three, believe it or not, there's a lot of lousy doctors out there who are giving your employees' names, addresses, and phone numbers to crooked attorneys. You think you're doing the right thing by sending your employee down the street? And look what happens in many cases that we can prove. We're in the middle of proving a giant healthcare facility for doing just that. You think you're doing the honest thing, the right thing, and you are. And some of these doctors are stabbing you in the back. And it's a crying shame. It's a shame, but it's out there. And it's happening every day. You have to protect yourself. How many of you have been driven down the road behind a bus and you see a billboard on the back of a bus? It's got the picture of a nice attorney there with a nice smile. Huh? How many of you seen a billboard on the side of the road? An attorney that wants to talk to your employees. How many of you have seen an attorney's commercial on TV that wants to talk to your employees? Do you think the employees talk to their brother-in-law, sister-in-law, their friends? Well, that lawsuit was easy. How'd you like to take a couple weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks off and get a few $1,000s? It's no big deal. Yeah, just call this attorney. They go see the attorney. And the attorney says, listen, I know your GM is a cool person, great manager, the owner, nice person. We're not going after them. We're going after that fat insurance company that insures them. Don't worry. Your owner's just fine. Baloney. That lawsuit's hitting me right here. Every time. What do we do for our clients? We put on fraud meetings for you and your staff. And I shouldn't say we, I should say me. I'm the one that does it. Do you think I can communicate to your employees about workers' compensation insurance fraud? Do you think I could communicate to your employees how difficult it is for an employer to stay in business, to give you better benefits, to give you raises? Your employer's workers' compensation insurance has just gone through the roof. How do you expect them to give you raises? We need to work together as a team and get control over this problem, or none of us are going to have a job. This is a serious issue. Workers' compensation insurance fraud is a felony. I've been doing this for a long time, as you probably have figured it out. I am not remotely bashful for prosecuting folks that have taken advantage of that employer, my client. Good reason why Sashimi hired us. Employers cannot go one step further without protecting themselves, because these attorneys are coming at you every which way you can even imagine. If they don't go to the front door and hit you with the workers' compensation lawsuit, they're coming through the back door hitting you with an EPLI lawsuit, which can be anything. Anything. It's sad. This is a very sad state of affairs California is in right now. And it doesn't appear that Sacramento is going to be giving us any relief anytime soon. These fraud meetings are important. We have a client where 25% of their workforce was out on workers' compensation. 25%. I walked in, this was 2 years ago, and I had a meeting kind of similar to this. This company has not had one claim since, because I made them a promise. My number one job is to help protect you from getting injured on the job. Number one. You get injured on the job, we're going to give you great medical care. Got it. But number two, I'm going to protect my client. You don't play on the playing field. You're not on the field and honestly file legitimate claims. If you don't do that, you step off the field, and I deem it, my staff deems this as fraud, don't do it. There are lots and lots of laws that are written in favor of the employees. We all get that. Very generous laws. But believe me, there are laws that protect the business owner. And I and my team use every single one of them. How many of you have had an employee that comes back from the doctor and the doctor says, well, my employee can't lift an ounce, really can't do much, they can sit. And you're saying to yourself, well, wow, I mean, it's pretty hard to change bed sheets if you can't move, they can just sit, right? And so that employee is off work, maybe a shoulder injury, off for weeks and weeks. You're doing the right thing, right? What are you going to say? That's what the doctor said. That's what we're doing. Light duty. You want to know what we do? Anybody here curious as to what we do? Hold your hand up. Anybody curious about what we do? We don't play games. You want to know what we do? Is we assign your employee to a nonprofit organization located right next to their house. Do we want your employee to be sitting on the couch, popping that cold drink, playing with that clicker all day for weeks and weeks and months on end? Do you think that shoulder will rehabilitate quicker at home? Or sitting at a table in and amongst 300 screaming kids? Do you follow me so far? You see, we can do this legally. And to boot, of course that employee is going to say, hey, I've had enough of these kids. I'm going home, and can you just send my check to the house? How's that? What do you say? No. We're not going to do that. See, legally, you can cut off all their income right then and there. Go pound sand. Legally, you can't cut off their medical, but boy, you can sure cut off their income. We want that employee to come back, rehabilitate, and come back to work. We saw a prospect last week, and I have thought I've seen it all. I really did. I looked at those prospects' losses, and I darn near fell off my chair. And what I saw was they had 7 claims going back to 2013. Those claims were expensive, each and every one of them. There's no reason for that. Claims management, competent claims management is really, really important. Getting those claims cleared out is something that must be done darn near immediately, because those claims go out of control, those expenses go to the roof. It is a bad situation. And so, what do we do for our clients? Number one, we don't want our clients involved in the claim process at all. We have professionals that know exactly what they're doing. They can talk to those attorneys, claims adjusters, the doctors, and everybody else. They speak their language. We know who our boss is. Our client's the boss. We don't want them involved in the claims because we're the experts at doing that. But we have a duty to our boss to report to them 3 times a year. It's a verbal claims meeting that's very, very comprehensive, that talks about every single detail regarding that claim. Then, if you'd like, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you can go on your desktop or your cell phone and read all about each and every one of your claims. That's what you should be doing. If you're going to be a good manager and be on top of your workers' compensation, you better know what's going on behind the curtains and not be kept in the dark.